What's going on, you guys? Welcome to Strangers Minds. I'm Fernando, and this is Strangers Reaction. We're gonna react to Paranormal Caught on Tape. We're gonna continue on with top 50 scariest ghost videos of the year that will give you nightmares. On the last episode, we started off from 50 to here, so let's keep it going. Shutter Shadows. Shutter Shadows. Let's go.
This next creepy video comes from the Japanese ghost channel Fourth Wall. In the heart of Shikoku, Japan, stands a house that the locals say is extremely haunted. 2 decades ago, inside this very house, a neighbour who was concerned that he hadn't seen the family for a while ended up discovering something horrifying: the family's lifeless bodies in the living room. Missing from the scene was the 10-year-old son, later found in the garage, muttering the words, "The shutters are scary." The community was shocked as the boy had seemingly vanished out of sight for a year leading up to his discovery. While the son's whispers became the stuff of hushed legends, the plot thickened when the property came under the ownership of Mr. Ishikawa. His intrigue about the property's past led him to a disturbing discovery: a child's drawing depicting the tragic family incident and an unnerving shadowy figure standing nearby. Could it be the manifestation of the dark entity rumoured to haunt the home? Adding to the house's eerie reputation, an attempt to cleanse its aura was abruptly halted. An employee, after encountering the chilling drawing, was struck with inexplicable illness, fueling speculations about a curse linked to the home's past. Mr. Ishikawa's interest in unveiling the mysteries of the house didn't stop there. Footage from a camera, left recording overnight by a friend of his, unveiled unsettling phenomena that few could rationally explain. This is the footage Mr. Ishikawa's friend caught.
I mean, yes, you hear the the gates banging, but who's to say it's not a person doing it? Definitely sounds like bangs and not particularly like wind, like strong winds. It sounds like bangs.
The shutters to the garage can be heard echoing through the empty property. But did you see it? While the shutters were moving, a mysterious white figure can be seen slowly peeking in around the door before it slips away out of sight. Mr. Ishikawa shared this story of the house and this video footage with the Fourth Wall team via email, and of course, they became interested. The Fourth Wall team
I've been seeing that stand there the whole entire time. I didn't really put any mind to it because it was almost there. Yeah, sure. Looks like it shifted possibly possibly an inch, not even. Um, I just think it's the camera angle, the view, possibly something, stationary or a shine or something. I didn't really think much of it. I could be wrong. I mean, that was it the whole entire time. Now show me a video. Now show me the piece of this video where it actually moves out of the way. Because I didn't notice throughout the original footage that it moves. Yeah, it's there the whole entire time. It's almost like
friend caught.
I mean, due to the quality of the camera, it also seems like the black spots. Do you guys see it? Like it's even moving with the bangs, the black spots, the pixels of the black spots right next to this, entity shadow. I mean, not shadow, entity light, whatever it is. It could just be the pixelation. Sorry. I don't think
the shutters to the garage can be heard echoing through the empty property, but can be seen. The fourth wall team sends a cameraman to visit the empty house alone late at night, and within minutes of stepping foot into the house, he captures something rather creepy.
And that was loud and clear.
The sounds of someone talking startles the person recording, but when he looks inside, there's no one there. Spooked by this, the cameraman decides to set up multiple night vision cameras around the empty property, with one pointing directly at the garage shutters. This is what that camera caught. Something can be heard scratching and rattling the garage shutters, and then a pair of legs eerily walk by before they mysteriously disappear into thin air. YouTube viewers have been left spooked. The harrowing tale of the house, combined with the creepy footage of these phantom legs passing the garage shutters, has left many scared to go to sleep at night. An overwhelming number are now convinced.
My thing is that it has, let's think of it from a perspective that this is real. It has to be phantom movement of the gates, because these kind of gates, if you're banging on it, you're gonna see the movement on the gate. It's not solid, it's not like a wall. You're gonna see movement on the gate. I didn't see no movement. As far as the legs are concerned, the way it's moving, it's actually kind of weird. It's almost like bow-legged. Or like those steps are like really far away from each other. Again, if it's a real video, then awesome catch. But thinking about it logically, could it have been a person walking? Yes, we have seen that there are, that the feet disappears in the end, but we've also seen this kind of quality type of videos with low quality cameras, and the frame per second is not catching up with this movement of the speed. Everything looks clear because it's stationary. Everything, the walls, nothing is moving. But if a person was to walk by fast, it'll give that like the person disappearing. If the frames per second quality of the camera is like low, it's bad. So I don't know. It could go either or.
That the shadows of the past still haunt this home, but the question remains, what's your verdict? Share your thoughts below in the comments.
Actually, you know what? Let me refrain that last comment I did. The way it's walking is really slow, so the frame per second, it's knocked out. It's walking really slow. Just seeing it, how it moves and then disappearing. Yeah, that's not gonna be due to the frame per second because it's walking slow. So I'm starting to really like this video. Don't enter.
This next creepy clip comes from one of my favourite urban exploration channels, Urbex Hill. In the video, Chris visits an abandoned street named Holton Avenue, located in Cleveland, Ohio. This desolate street, with a church dating back to 1913, sits as a reminder of a time gone by. Chris starts his exploration inside the old church. Then after a while, he makes his way to the basement, and things start to get creepy.
Swore I heard something.
The first clank could have been just something, anything. The second clank repeatedly, that's when you have to start thinking, is something moving it? Because it sounded like the same object.
As Chris explores the basement of the abandoned church, he hears what sounds like clinking of metal or plates. He pauses and hears it again. Startled, he looks around and the coast looks clear, so he presses on.
Not for nothing, I'm going to add that there is something eerie about being in a church at night. It's one thing if there is, like a mass going on and it's late and it's full of people, everybody praying, it's fine. But being in a church by yourself at night, I think it's one of the most creepiest places you could be. And then to be in an abandoned church at that, which is known that abandoned churches that is crumbling are always being broken into by Satanists or people performing rituals and doing all types of crazy stuff in there, which is going to amp up a place that is supposed to have positivity in it, but in all reality is just a place full of energy, and they're just conjuring something negative within that location. It's pretty, it's right up there. Forgot about a cemetery. I think one of the most creepiest places in the world is an abandoned church, in my opinion.
That's weird. What's upstairs?
Again, for all you guys that wants to do this as to start off as a hobby, because all of this that I'm doing, Stranger's Journey, Stranger's Reaction, Gaming Sanctuary, all of this is just a hobby. I'm not getting paid for it. I mean, hopefully in the future, who knows? But for you paranormal investigators, this is why it's good to have multiple cameras, and you don't need a 4K expensive $1,000 camera to do this. You can have a bunch of cell phones. That's what I use. I use a bunch of cell phones with at least 1080p, so it could be HD and just the quality good. Putting different cameras all over the place, so if something happens, multiple cameras can show that activity, which is more credible.
That was loud.
Just in case, I just noticed that my camera, that the viewing is blocking the camera that he has on the floor. I mean, okay. For now, let's just move it up so you guys could see that. I'm going to review it. Although you could have seen, you saw, right? You guys saw the door closing because my screen wasn't blocking the camera. But for this clip, let's just keep it like this. Let's go back a little bit so you guys could see. A little bit more. Let's see the door close.
It's weird.
See the door close.
That was upstairs. Oh, shit.
Creepy, you guys. Creepy.
That was loud.
That was loud. But again, safety first, you guys. Don't go into abandoned places by yourself, not just because of the paranormal, but be afraid more of the living than the dead. It's just for safety purposes. You go in pairs. If you want to go in a crew, cool. You probably even, spread out and get more evidence. I mean, there's just really no pro to going into a location by yourself, honestly. Besides, challenging yourself, maybe. But if you got more people, you guys spread out, cover more grounds. Safety purposes, anything happens to you, you have someone to help, and even let's say you go into a real active location, having somebody there next to you just solidifies that you'll be able to, hold your ground better. You're not gonna start running and go crazy. So always go paired up, guys.
Caught on Chris's static cam upstairs, a door can be seen slamming shut somehow on its own. He goes up to check it out, but doesn't find anyone. Wanting to find out just what made that loud bang, Chris continues his exploration.
That door wasn't closed. At least I don't think it was.
Was that a growl? It sounded to me like something moving.
What does that say?
Look up, look around, you'll be dead, come to town. Look up, look around, you'll be dead, come to town. Nice little poem. Whoever wrote it didn't know how to spell dead.
Chris comes across a door that he thought was open the last time he came by. Just as he says that, a faint sound can be heard nearby, almost like a demonic growl. He doesn't hear it though, but his viewers did. Chris makes his way out of the church and onto the street, where he has to hide in total darkness when a car passes by. A little while later, he enters an abandoned rundown house, and it turned out to be a very bad idea.
Let me guess. It wasn't actually abandoned. So, I, for one, and another tip for anybody who wants to do this and are going into abandoned places, just because it's abandoned, it is abandoned by the city. It doesn't mean that there's not anybody in there. Abandoned places usually do have people inside. Most of them living in there due to whatever shelter that that fits them. um when you walk into an abandoned building, announce yourself, scream if you have to. That's what I do, and it's just to let people know to either come out, or I'm going in, or anything. But well, and also it does kind of heighten up. The spirits might find it interesting. Oh, who's this coming in, right? So I mean, just announce yourself that you're going in. That way, anybody, if there's anybody, they know you're going in, and it's not a surprise, because this is dangerous. And also, just because it's abandoned doesn't mean it's active. There's people living in there. I know it doesn't really look like it, but
There's a basement. Oh, that looks creepy as... I don't know if I'm gonna go down there. There's like running water down there. This is sketchy. This cannot be safe.
I have those boots.
Hope I don't find a body down here. It actually looks like it's just underneath the house. It's not really a basement. Still creepy. Sorry. I didn't know nobody lived there. It smelled like piss. I knew somebody was in there.
Why did you go in, bro? Yeah, you just trespassed. Yeah. Yo, man, you lucky. Then people probably didn't shoot first and ask questions later. I mean, Jesus. I mean, not for nothing, but that house looks pretty nice. Like, I don't understand people living in a nice house or a potential nice house and have it like that. Like, I think this dude just walked into a crack house. That's what I think. That looks like a crack house.
Chris peers inside a room with a curtain to see if anyone's inside, but no one is in there.
All I heard was sirens. The dude probably called the cops on you, bro. Start moving.
He checks the basement and suddenly he hears footsteps above him. He rushes up and waits by the exit to see if someone's now in the house. Then the curtain pulls open and Chris gets out of there. Chris's viewers were holding their breath while watching this creepy exploration around Holton Avenue, with many agreeing with AMW Fan 88 that they can't believe he pulled back another curtain after what happened in the school.
That's new stuff, bro. Come on now. That's risky as fuck.
Thankfully, Chris made it out of both situations safely. Now, I don't know about you, but I've always thought that people are scarier than ghosts. But what do you think? And what would you do in this scary situation? Let me know down below.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm about to put that on a t-shirt. Scared of the living, not the dead. Yeah, man. You have to be careful going into abandoned places, because any one of those people could have had a weapon. You could have been attacked, jumped, anything could have happened.
This next entry comes from the subreddit Ghosts, uploaded by user Fabrizio Mendez, and shares an unsettling tale. The backdrop: the infamous Duran Sanatorium in Costa Rica, a place where echoes of the past still linger. Once a hospital for tuberculosis sufferers, its haunting reputation now draws in curious explorers. On a seemingly ordinary...
Sorry guys, let me just put the camera back down. Yeah. So what is this, like the third sanatorium in this in Mindz Junkie video? I think so. Let's go. Sorry about that. I will edit that.
Ordinary visit. His mother snapped a photo of their family, but when they later reviewed the picture, they were shocked by what they saw. At first, the photo looks, well, normal. Just Fabrizio, his dad, and his brother posing for a family photo outside a now vacant but haunted sanatorium. However, upon closer inspection, something more creepy can be seen. In an upstairs window, a figure lurks, bearing a striking resemblance to the cinematic horror icon, the Lack, or the Nun. As if that wasn't unsettling enough, another spectral nun stands, almost camouflaged by a wall, her gaze fixed unnervingly on the family. Fabrizio is adamant that the sanatorium was closed that day for repairs and that nobody was around. So this begs the question, who are they? The photo has the community on edge, with many recounting their spine-chilling experiences. Reddit user FIFA Ra Throwaway says that, quote, "The hostel/volunteering organisation I was with went there, and we went inside. Something definitely followed us back that night, and a lot of weird shit happened, some that made the hostel owners think that someone may have broken in when it was reported. They checked the cameras, supposedly, but we never heard more. However, the next night when we arrived back, they had sages in all of the dorms. They continue. Every single guide and local I met had experienced footsteps running upstairs, doors slamming, other strange happenings, and of course some claim to have even seen the ghost of the little girl. So, who are these mysterious figures in the photograph behind Fabrizio's family? Apparitions from a bygone era, or something else?
You know what? I don't think the one, the figure by the fence is something they probably didn't even notice, but it could have been like a cloth just hanging there. You know, I mean, that's what it seems like to me, and that's even a possibility, because if you're not looking for it, then you could easily mistaken anything as something when you're going through pictures and video. Now that on the window, it is a bit interesting because it actually looks like it's coming out of the window, like peeking out. So that's interesting. Too bad it's a photo. Because if it was a video, I mean, you guys already know me. If it was a video, it would have been a lot better.
You tell me.
The Dark Watcher.
This next creepy clip comes from the ghost hunting and paranormal investigation channel, Hunting the Unknown. Alex sets out on a solo exploration of an abandoned winery restaurant that is said to harbour extreme paranormal activity. The winery, which has been abandoned for over 25 years, is dilapidated and falling apart. Apparently, the previous owners became so scared and are said to have just got up and left all of their belongings because of paranormal activity that occurred in the building. Satanic rituals are amongst some of the insidious things that have been rumoured to have happened inside the abandoned winery in the last few years. Bravely, Alex decides to investigate the winery alone, or so he thought.
Here we go, guys, we're inside.
Like that, man. Another person investigating by themselves in an abandoned place. Like you guys don't have friends, bro? I mean, there's no way that so many people think that this is safe enough for you to do by yourself. I mean, again, set aside the paranormal. Anything could happen, guys.
Come to this place before a long time ago. It was in a lot better condition than this. Obviously, it's in a lot of bad disarray at the moment. It's destroyed. I can barely see. I've only got one light, and you just feel like being watched already in this place. So this place is in the middle of like a forest. It used to be a winery, but it's over 25 years it's been derelict, abandoned. So the forest has reclaimed this place pretty much, and it's known to have people coming in to do seances and things like that, satanic things. Because in the UK you might not think it, but it's very popular in this country. Satanists, the demons, all that sort of stuff, summoning rituals, you name it, guys, they do it in this country. So anything can happen while you're on your own. I've got the music box set up at the moment. Just doing a little walkthrough. Hello?
As Alex is making his way through the winery.
That's what I'm talking about. These are real paranormal investigators. You don't need a whole crew behind you recording everything. I mean, unless you have your own TV show, which I'd argue that these guys are more experienced and more, you know, capable of doing stuff than whatever's on TV. But yeah. This guy already has multiple cameras set up. That's what I'm talking about. So you could see everything, all of the locations everywhere.
A door suddenly slams shut. His static camera captures the moment the door swings shut with force. Creeped out, but eager to explore the old building, Alex presses on. A little while later, Alex decides to use a spirit box device to make contact in the bar area, and then this happens.
Can you turn off the music box again? Can you walk in front of it? Was that you making that noise? Where are you? Can you give me a sign, please?
Don't get me wrong, I like using a spirit box, to a certain extent, depending on how you use it. If you're by yourself, I wouldn't recommend you using it. Not for any purposes. It's just that you're kind of with the noise coming through the speaker. You're kind of focusing just on that, and you're basically left defenseless as far as hearing anything else going on around you. First of all, a lot of these places that are abandoned, you're not allowed to go in. So if you have a radio playing really loud, you're kind of letting people know that you're in there. And we're not just talking about authority, we're talking about anybody knowing that you're in there. So you're actually kind of in a way putting yourself in danger by doing this by yourself. Now, if you are accompanied by somebody, what you could do is have one of them with earphones and do almost like a Estes session, but without the blindfolds, and just have that one person just walking around speaking out what they're hearing while you guys are investigating, almost like a designated driver. That way everybody has each other's back. And I don't know, I think that there's a lot of good potential communication being done if if you have somebody just concentrating on that, and then while you do the talking. I mean, that's just my perspective.
Alex calls out for any entities present to make contact with him, and then, all of a sudden, bottles on the counter fall over and crash onto the floor, scaring the crap out of Alex. Alex is terrified, but continues his attempt to make contact, mentions he feels as if he's being watched.
After that, of course.
Steve, are you here? I think you're lying. I don't think your name's Steve.
This guy's nervous. He's moving the camera a lot. Yo, these damn freaking commercials from YouTube. Again, I said in the last episode, but YouTube used to be a little bit more considerate when commercials show up. Like, they would choose a nice time for it, but now they're just throwing it in the middle of everything.
I don't understand how these were knocked down. It's crazy, I don't understand this. I'm pretty sure this was like that. Hello?
Oh. You definitely see something there. And it's still there. Inside the other room, still down. No, it's not there. Oh, he noticed it.
Now, this is where I have to ask, did you catch it? Yep. As Alex pans the room, a mysterious dark figure can be seen watching Alex from the darkness. But who or what is it? Viewers suggest that this dark figure is an infamous shadow figure, and possibly the cause of the reported paranormal activity that scared the owners away all those years ago. But what do you think? Did Alex capture a real shadow figure on camera? You tell me.
Nice. So I actually like that video. Again, I tend to, maybe I'm biased, but I like I like paranormal investigation videos, paranormal caught on tape. because you could learn from other people's experiences, and also depending on the situation, unless the guy is trying to get some clicks, or trying to earn something in whichever way, you do have people in the paranormal field who are doing this for the wrong reason. So but I tend to gravitate more towards paranormal investigations. It's a good video. So let's go. The Haunted Doorway.
This next entry comes from the Japanese ghost channel Fourth Wall. The Fourth Wall team received a video from a person named Meguro who claims his house is haunted. After adopting a stray cat left by the home's previous owners, Meguro gave it to his friends, Mr. and Mrs. Kimura. A few months later, the Kimuras decided to move, spooked by terrifying experiences in their house. It turns out their home had a dark past that dated back 20 years, with rumours suggesting a previous resident might even have been possessed. Apparently, a man passed away by a door in the house. Eager to capture what was haunting his friends, Meguro set up cameras to film the unsettling events that followed. He set up a camera to capture everything in the living room, but also the door where, supposedly, the person had passed away by 20 years ago. This was captured the first night. A static night vision camera captures a sheet of paper sliding off a cabinet mysteriously, all on its own. Not long after this, Mr. and Mrs. Kimura moved out. Now the house is empty. Meguro continued filming inside the property, and several nights later, while the house was empty, the static night vision camera captures something very creepy. Captured on camera in the dead of night, inside the now vacant property, the door in the empty house suddenly opens gently on its own, and then what appears to be a pale white figure can be seen standing in the doorway, facing the camera. Shocked by what he saw, Meguro decided to review all the footage starting from when the Kimuras lived in the house, and as he was sifting through hours of footage, what he discovered was so chilling, it made his blood run cold.
I don't know, you guys. First of all, let's talk about that figure that we saw at the door. I personally would have liked to see if that thing dissipated, left, moved, or anything. It was stationary. Yes, it was see through, but who's to say that it's not, something is not reflecting off of a shiny surface, creating this, the bounce of light, because it doesn't move at all. So if the ability to fast forward a video is there, why didn't we see the fast forward throughout the whole video to see if that thing like kind of moves, leaves, or just evaporates or whatever. uh, so the other thing is that this is typical for people who has a sleeping disorder, sleepwalking. So this actually is typical. And about the cat ignoring the owner, I'm sorry, but I'm a dog guy. And one of the reasons why I'm a dog guy and I really don't like cats that much is because cats, if they don't want your attention, they're just going to freaking ignore you. And yeah, that's what I think. I think the cat is more interested in what's in the kitchen than the owner. But the guy on the floor very well could just have fallen asleep. He's moving.
Caught on camera in the middle of the night, we can see Mr. Kimura stepping.
He's moving a lot faster, so he probably woke up and was like, "What the hell?" And since he knows that he has a sleeping problem, he just got up and left.
Into the living room, and bizarrely, he just stands motionless for around 2 minutes. Then, weirdly, he gets down on the floor next to the door, the same door where the person had passed away in the house 20 years before. One of the family's cats walks in, but strangely, it completely ignores Mr. Kimura, almost as though the person sitting there isn't really Mr. Kimura at all. Finally, he gets up and leaves the room. YouTube viewers were shocked after seeing this creepy footage captured by Meguro inside Mr. and Mrs. Kimura's house, with many suggesting the house is haunted by the spirit of the person.
As much as I would love for this to be absolutely real, but you know, they should have fast forward the whole tape to see what happens. And unfortunately, you know, a lot of videos out there also can be misinterpreted to something paranormal, and it could completely be explained even by doctors' records, right? Now, I'm not saying this place isn't haunted or this is orchestrated. I'm just saying that things could be explained in this video.
Person who died 20 years ago, just as Mr. and Mrs. Kimura suspected. Some believe that this mysterious pale figure is a sinister dark entity who possessed Mr. Kimura, as seen in this footage, and it's a good job they left before he suffered the same fate as the man 20 years ago. But what do you think is going on here? Did Meguro capture evidence of a haunting on camera? You tell me.
Big wave. Bring the aloha.
I mean, again, I'm not saying that it's fake. It could be paranormal activity. You know, the house could be paranormal. It's just certain instances that can be explained. The figure looks interesting, I have to admit, but you know, the fact that they didn't fast forward it, I feel like I'm repeating myself just because a long ass commercial just passed and it just threw me off. Behind the glass.
This next ghost video comes from the Japanese ghost hunting channel Black Story. Kuro and Tei received a message from one of their followers telling them about an abandoned hospital in Chiba, Japan, where her mother worked several years ago. The unnamed follower says that she's been to the abandoned hospital before, where she encountered what she believes to be paranormal activity. Suspecting the hospital is haunted, Kuro and Tei venture out in the dead of night to see what they could find. For the first part of the video, the pair explore the old building, where they hear strange bangs and noises. However, later in the video, Kuro and Tei decide to split up to cover more ground, and Kuro ends up capturing this.
では、テイさん迎えに行きます。危ね。テイさん大丈夫かな。あれこれ道どこやったっけ？え？どうやって行ったか忘れたよ。どっちやったっけ？え？こっちやったっけ？これ風呂場やねこれ。
There was something at the window.
こっちや。こっち。マジで足場悪すぎる。
Did you see it? As Kuro Kuro glances in one of the rooms of the abandoned hospital. The face of someone or something can be seen pressed against the glass window. Kuro doesn't see it, and seconds later when he gets to where the figure should be standing, there's no one there. Black Story's viewers pointed out this mysterious face caught on Kuro's camera, and the ghost hunters were understandably creeped out when they saw it themselves. Viewers speculate that this is a ghost caught on camera, perhaps the spirit of a former patient. But what do you think this could be? Let me know.
Unfortunately, it could have been somebody trying to hide from the paranormal investigators going into the house. Again, places abandoned doesn't not necessarily mean that there's nobody in there. That's also very, dangerous to go into a tight, full of stuff location, because if you gotta book it, it's gonna look like one of those horror movies, and I'm sorry to say, like those white folks in horror movies that keeps on falling and falling. Yeah, anybody's gonna fall with all of that junk there. But I like to see this from different countries, different places around the world. Paranormal investigations, with different races and all. Everything just seems so cool because we kind of all share the same experiences, no matter where you're from. And there are still gonna be dumbasses going to, properties and just destroying it, vandalizing it. That is a worldwide thing. So, unfortunately, due to the aspects, it is kind of cool.
This next entry comes from TikTok, uploaded by Marcio Palmer. In what should have been a milestone moment, Marcio moved into his own flat, sharing the space only with his two beloved cats. A time for celebration quickly turned into a haunting experience as Marcio began noticing unsettling occurrences within his new home. Now, living alone takes a new, terrifying meaning, as he believes he's not the only entity residing in his apartment. Desperate for answers, Marcio took to carrying his phone everywhere, capturing and sharing the eerie happenings to his TikTok page, in the hopes that someone might be able to help explain the scary moments he's been witnessing.
If you are truly by yourself, you wouldn't let so much fall. You'll either investigate, because then somebody's in the apartment with you. If apparently you're by yourself.
The sounds of things crashing can be heard coming from another room of Marcio's apartment. He gets up to check and finds several cups on the kitchen floor. Confused, he looks around, and then a blue cup suddenly flies off a shelf right next to him. Then later on, Marcio is disturbed by noises again. He goes to look and finds the keys rocking back and forth, mysteriously all on their own. Then, when he returns to his living area, the lampshade can be seen swinging side to side. This next clip, Marcio is about to relax when he's disturbed by noises again.
All of this could have been orchestrated, guys. All of it. Not saying it's fake, but all of it could have been orchestrated. All of it could be orchestrated, guys. But what's giving it away from, my red flags when I see videos like this is that usually pets, cats, dogs, even fishes, cats, dogs, they have a sensitivity. They have their senses are a lot more heightened than us as adults. I say this because even children's senses are heightened when they're infants, growing up, babies. But all of this could be orchestrated. I think it's fake just because the cats aren't reacting. They would have reacted to, you would have seen the cats doing something. But hey.
A door slams behind Marcio. He goes to check, but nobody's inside. Then a loud sound startles him and he spins around, but no one can be seen. He takes a look around and then a chair slides out from under the table. Marcio checks his home but doesn't find anyone. Suddenly he hears his guitar in his bedroom and then the bedroom door slowly closes right in front of his eyes, and the sound of banging can be heard echoing off it. Terrified, but wanting to capture everything on camera as evidence, Marcio continues filming. Then the doorbell to his home rings. He immediately opens the door, but no one's out there. In this next clip, Marcio is again trying to relax when his intercom begins emitting a rather strange noise.
First and foremost, you guys, I've said this in a video or two ago. If you're hearing knocks at the door, it's only common sense that you check the door, but confirm who's knocking before opening the door. I was raised, and I'm pretty sure everybody who was a kid growing up had their parents tell them don't open the door to strangers, right? Like, you just grow up with this knowledge, and every time you go and open a door, look through the peephole, ask who it is, do something. Let's put aside the paranormal again, and just, just for your own safety purposes. You're not, I live in New York. I don't know about other places, but in New York, you just don't open the door like this.
Marcio's intercom emits a sound, almost as if something's outside pressing the buzzer. He looks through the peephole, but doesn't see anyone. And strangely, the intercom is battery powered, but only has one battery in it. So just how was it working? Marcio decides he needs to find out just what on earth is going on in his home, so he makes the brave decision to buy a Ouija board in an attempt to make contact with whatever is haunting his home. But this only made the activity worse.
That is the fakest video I've ever seen. Oh, Mind Junkie, man. Oh, man. I mean, I'm not gonna blame you. I'm not gonna blame you. This guy did a somewhat decent job, but a lot of his shit just doesn't make sense. You are hearing all of this shit going inside your apartment. I understand that this is your apartment and you need to investigate. And, probably, even though it's always said that if, just, dial 911 or wherever you're from, call the police, if you expect a breaking and entering, whatever. But, let's just say you want to, like figure this stuff out because it is your stuff. I understand you want to go in there. But how are you going to take your time to close the door behind you with the lock? Come on now, yo. Unless this guy is completely depleted of common sense, that is fake, man. It ain't no way there's another human being with this kind of, no, bro. Like, how? No. I can't believe this. He's gonna turn around, give his back. Cut for time. What do you like? You cut one step? Yeah, I'm gonna judge the crap out of this video right now. Yeah. All of that stuff could be done, guys. I don't believe nothing. None of this. Although, let me say this. For anybody experiencing paranormal activity, real paranormal activity, do not go and get yourself a Ouija board. You are playing, you are playing with things that you don't understand. And the Ouija board is, on the box of a Ouija board it says, for 8 years and up. But no, depending on places, if you use a Ouija board, you are opening a door. And just like a door, you don't, you don't know who's gonna come through. You could very well try and communicate with someone but something could come through. You're really playing with fire when you involve a Ouija board. I myself don't use Ouija boards, not even on investigations. Anybody who goes out there to use a Ouija board, you need to know what you're doing. And since I'm not going to consider myself an expert on using a Ouija board, I'm not even going to touch it. And I would even let nobody touch it around me either. And, you're really risking it. I mean, for me, we could skip this video. All of this is fake. With that whole door situation, all of this is fake. As of right now,
Marcio returns home, but as he approaches his front door, loud banging can be heard inside. Confused and scared, he proceeds with caution, only to find his home has been trashed and the light won't turn on. However, as he enters further, the light begins to flicker right above his head. Terrified, Marcio looks around and ends up finding the Ouija board he used earlier lying in the corner of the room. Marcio Palmer continued to experience strange things for a while after this, before the activity eventually settled down. After watching Marcio Palmer's unsettling videos, TikTok users were quick to sound the alarm. This isn't just a haunted home, it's something far worse. It's haunted by a poltergeist. Many blame the Ouija board Marcio used, warning that it could escalate the supernatural events.
Yes,
some viewers suggest Marcio should get his home blessed or move out entirely, but others warn that the haunting may not be tied to the location. It could follow him no matter where he goes. So what do you think? Is Marcio living with something truly evil? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Sorry, but it is true that if the person has an attachment, it doesn't matter where you go to, that attachment is going to stick to you. So it's not necessarily the location that's haunted, it is you that's haunted. But unfortunately for this video, for this guy's case, you can't escape stupid. So I'm sorry. I don't blame my junkie for this video. He did a great job, guys. He did a great job as far as commentary is concerned to hype this up. But there's no way a rational human being is hearing your place getting thrashed. You go to investigate, but you turn around. You're giving your back to potential intruders and lock the door behind you. He locked himself in. There's no way. All of this could be fake. For me, all of this is fake. And let's just continue.
Spirits are known to be drawn to children and animals. The younger the child is, the more susceptible they are to the spirit world. That means baby monitors often capture creepy moments just like this one. New mom Joanna Pasco, or Brasco526 on TikTok, posted this video from her baby monitor app that alerted her to movement.
Okay. That's not possible. Is that the light? What the is that? What is that?
I feel like
what is it? Look at the way. Look, it's lingering.
It is lingering.
Is it the light outside? Like, what is happening right now? There's no other light. How is this possible? Like,
take it down 5 notches.
There's no pinhole. Empty. Like, the curtains. I pulled the curtains closed. You guys, what the is this? And it's not leaving. It's getting near her. Oh my god. Did she just touch it? Where did it go?
Nice.
In the darkened baby's room, a bright white orb can be seen floating around the baby. Instead of being asleep, the baby seems alert and active, moving around the cot while the orb floats nearby. But then, it suddenly looks like the baby has seen the orb and it reaches out to touch it. As it does, the orb vanishes and the baby appears to run after it, trying to find it. But what is this mysterious bright white orb seen floating around? Drop a comment below with your thoughts.
All right, first off, Mom, I understand that people are afraid to what they don't understand. Um, I I think this is one of the best orb videos I've ever seen. I mean, just forget the fact of the circle moving around. It's even illuminating the areas that it's closest to. I saw the mattress getting illuminated. I saw the crib, the wooden sticks getting illuminated. But what really did it for me was the fact that the baby in a way interacted with it and it flew away. This is one of the best orb videos I have ever seen. But Mom, you gotta take it a couple of notches down, relax. Nothing is really going on with the baby. It is scary because you don't understand it, but lashing out or in a way getting, oh my god, it's not gonna help the situation. If for any reason you feel uncomfortable with certain things, this is a very good video to show to try and get yourself some help. But again, people might not like ghosts. I could understand that completely. Whether or not it's Casper or freaking, whatever demon there is, you just don't want a ghost in your house. I completely understand. But not all spirits are evil. Not everything is demonic, and not every paranormal activity is dangerous. Spirits used to be people just like us, and we will reach that point if we don't cross over and we're here. We'll be in their same position. So respect the dead, and they're just pay attention to the activities that happen going forward.
This next entry has been stirring conversations on the Ghosts subreddit. Uploaded by Motorbike in 1985, this peculiar photograph was shot using a Rolleiflex camera from the 1930s, armed with Foma 400 film. In search of the captivating beauty that Scotland's landscapes offers, he stumbled upon something far more enigmatic. Motorbike in 1985's exploration led him to a quaint, albeit weathered, roofless shelter tucked away in the back of a garden, a place that seems to echo with the whispers of the past. It's not just the shelter that emanates a sense of ancient stories. The very land it sits on is drenched in history. A stone's throw away lies an ancient Neolithic tomb and burial ground, with its origins veiled in the mists of time, dating back to 2000 to 3000 BC. And if you dare to venture a little further, an old mansion looms, now transformed into a care home for the elderly. Yet, whispers in the local folklore suggest that it's haunted by the apparition of a lady in white. Captivated by the aura of these diverse historical elements, Motorbike in 1985 felt compelled to capture the moment. He aims his vintage Rolleiflex camera and pressed the shutter. The image he caught not only astounded him, but sent a wave of shivers down his spine. Look closely at the photograph. Do you see it? A ghostly face, distinctly human and eerily ethereal, peers out from the window of the crumbling structure. According to Motorbike in 1985, the face resembles that of an older woman. Yet, while the visage is discernible, the body behind it seems either transparent or entirely absent. Reddit is abuzz with theories, speculations, and potential debunkings, each diving into complex photographic techniques and scientific discussions. Yet, each discourse reaches the same unsettling conclusion: no one can quite explain it. So, what do you make of this? Is this a ghost caught on camera as the uploader believes? Let me know what you think.
That is a very interesting picture, and primarily because of the type of camera that he used. Film cameras are very, you cannot just, mess with it. Film cameras are one of the best things to use in an investigation over digital cameras, because they're more credible. Because with digital cameras, you could, basically do whatever to it, Photoshop it. But with film cameras, especially with old vintage cameras, that's very, up to not even, I never heard of old vintage camera film being doctored. I haven't heard of it. The figure.
This video comes from the ghost hunting channel Ghost Tech Paranormal Investigations. In the video, the ghost hunters visit the old rectory school, which was built next to a church in the early 1800s. The school has been abandoned for some time, and many believe it to be haunted by shadow figures. Ghost Tech Paranormal Investigations start their ghost hunt by taking turns asking several questions. However, when it's Mark's turn, this happens.
What was that noise?
It might have been me moving. No.
Let me check the static cam.
We've been having all sorts of weird issues today. Now, it may be down to the cold, because it's extremely cold here. It's probably -2 or 3, but camera problems. What's in there?
Phil, wait, Phil, wait. Now, either someone's wandered in, or there's someone wearing a black cloak.
That's what we saw in there.
Standing just round there.
Like an old you know the cloaks the old teachers used to wear? That's what we saw by that classroom in there.
Did you have a camera? I'm shaking.
Maybe, you might have. Who is it? Jeff might have just seen. Are you one of the old teachers or the headmaster?
Alright guys, for a paranormal investigator, it's one thing for you to get, afraid about seeing something, and you want to take safety measures and back up. First of all, this is an abandoned location. I think he just scared himself. He was already scared to begin with, and he just peeked over trying to see something. If he saw what we saw, there's no reason to flip out the way he did, unless you're already scaring yourself, and anything is going to be something. Now, as a true paranormal investigator, this is why I say that certain, there are certain levels of experience that kind of makes you think a little bit more clear than others. Let's just say somebody in my group experienced something and they run away. Fine, but we're there to investigate. Why is the person who ran away going to stop everybody from investigating because he's scared? That doesn't make no sense to me. I would not listen to this guy. He saw something, let's investigate. Make sure we see what he saw. Because let's just say that it's a real person. Now we're all just waiting for shit to hit the fan. Do you understand? Or if it was a potential entity, all this time, due to him not letting people go to investigate, you just lost your chance to catch a holy grail of what we paranormal investigators investigate for. So, this whole thing just doesn't make sense if he is a true paranormal investigator.
I can hear talking in there. I can hear talking in there. Please tell me your name. Don't be scared. We're not here to cause any harm. We're just interested and want to contact you.
As the investigation unfolds, Jeff hears an unsettling sound, almost like their static cam powering down. Venturing to inspect the situation, he's met with a chilling sight. For a brief moment, the camera captures a shadowy figure draped in what appears to be a cape, eerily reminiscent of the attire teachers wore at this very school in the late 1800s. Throughout their...
Sorry, it could have been a piece of cloth just leaning over a piece of paper of the freaking drywall. It could have been a cardboard. It could have been a picture frame. It could have it could have been a shelf. It could have been anything. Yeah.
Paranormal investigation at this haunted building. Mysterious voices and inexplicable noises accompany them at every turn. Yet, it wasn't until they reviewed the footage back home that the true extent of their paranormal encounter became heart-stoppingly clear.
Let's see what they call it.
When we were leaving the building, I took several photographs from outside, and during the production of this episode, one of the
There you go. These guys have a TV show. What am I telling you guys? What am I telling you guys? People that have TV shows shouldn't be having TV shows if they're in it to really investigate a paranormal location. Because, yeah, I know a bunch of paranormal investigators that don't have TV shows and they conduct themselves professionally and not get scared like this guy just did, and potentially just ruined one of the best pieces of evidence ever caught. But let's see what, I do see a figure standing there, so let's see. Because, I can't trust nothing what these people say now.
pictures revealed a shadow figure which seemed to be watching us from within the doorway to the building.
Here's the thing also, this is why it's very important for you to take at least 3 pictures, because I would have loved to see a before and after, right? Like 3 pictures. I would like to see a before and after, same position, same everything, because who's to say this picture wasn't doctored or something could have explained this shadow there. I mean, to me, whatever, let's say if it is an entity, the entity facing, towards me, I'm outside, the entity is facing me. It looks like there is possibly a leg, even off a table, the left leg off the table, and due from the light coming in from the outside in, it is giving whatever entity the right leg in the back, the shadow of the stick in the front, right? Who's to say that this is not the guy taking the picture? Like, there is so many possibilities. Like, I don't know. I could be wrong and this is actually a shadow figure. But if you're not going to show more, then we cannot just go by face value.
Captured on camera as the ghost hunters make their exit, a shadow figure looms in a doorway, seemingly observing them from the depths of the shadows of this abandoned school. Ghost Tech Paranormal Investigation's viewers were glued to their screens during their ghost hunt at the old rectory school. The prevailing theory that these ominous dark figures are none other than the spirits of former teachers still tethered to the building.
Tell me now, ain't this a possibility? You took a picture and you have the sun behind you, and it would cast that right there.
Viewers echo Mrs. Lynn B's comment, asserting that these guys are the real deal, no fakery. But, as always, the interpretation rests with you. Could Ghost Tech Paranormal Investigations have truly captured the ethereal presence of a former teacher, still haunting the corridors of this abandoned school? Share your thoughts below.
Man. So you guys, I'm going to call this episode right here. We've reached number 30. So I will continue on. The next video is going to be from 30 to 20 and so on and so forth. But you guys already know, if you like this video, if you want to support the channel, please do what you do when you like video, a channel, a platform, hit that like, share, subscribe. I will put Mind Junkies information in the description section, and just give all of us a big old follow and subscribe, you guys. All right, I'll catch you guys on the next. Peace.